All right, let's talk Notre Dame Fighting Irish football. This is a team coming off a massive victory this past Saturday, building a lot of momentum for the second half of the season. But while 2024 is heading in the right direction, Notre Dame, like all smart programs, are focusing on the future as well. And to that end, Coach Freeman and company just pulled off a really massive move. Great sign for the future. I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, so this Fighting Irish team, like I mentioned, they're building a lot of momentum on Saturdays, winning a lot of football games, moving off that just incredible defeat, that very disappointing upset loss a number of weeks ago. That's in the past now. They're playing really good football, and we're starting to see that leading to big moves on the recruiting front. Let's pull up this report courtesy of The Athletic. Notre Dame landed a commitment from a new class of 2025 quarterback recruit as Blake Hebert announced Monday that he's flipping from Clemson to the Irish. Hebert, listed at 6'3", 205 pounds, plays at Brunswick School in Greenwich, Connecticut. He's a four-star prospect in the 24/7 Sports Composite, ranked number 400 overall and number 29 among quarterbacks. It's very interesting. He's not ranked super highly, but a lot of big touted programs were really on him. I think he's a guy who could rise in the ranks very quickly. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this move by Notre Dame. But first, Fighting Irish fans, in the comment section below, as we're heading into the second half of the season, this is where rubber meets the road. But let's take a step back and look at the past set of games here. Up to this point, who is your MVP of this Notre Dame Fighting Irish squad? A lot of different directions you could go. Really curious what you guys have to say. Give us your MVP up to this point for Notre Dame this season and put them in the comment section below. But Myers, what are your thoughts on this latest news out of South Bend?
Yeah, Nick, I think this is a really good move by Notre Dame, especially like you said, bounce back from, the early loss. They came back from that, bounce back from another loss, losing Deuce Knight, a big time quarterback recruit for this program. Notre Dame, bounce back team right now. They're doing a lot of great stuff. And I think Hebert, he's a very interesting prospect. And any quarterback that is coming out of Clemson really interests me because if you go back through the annals, go back through history, Clemson has been pretty good at the quarterback position, evaluating the talent there. You go back all the way to Taj Boyd, then you go to the Deshaun Watson era, then you come to Trevor Lawrence era. DJ Ugalele, he's on a really bad Florida State team right now, but we saw him do some good things at Clemson as well. And now Cade Klubnik, the guy that they have currently, they've been pretty good at hitting on the quarterback position. So I think if Clemson, like this guy, they're able to get him commit, he's probably somebody that is pretty worth looking at. I think this is a great pickup for Notre Dame because this could be a talented guy that comes in and replaces Riley Leonard, becomes the future of this team. I think Riley Leonard has done a good job this season, but I don't know if he has the firepower to lead this Notre Dame squad to what they want to be. He's been pretty good overall this season, but a lot of these games, he's not even getting over really 100, barely up, the 150 mark in passing yardage. He just hasn't had the firepower with his arm that I would like to see from some of these Notre Dame teams. I think Hebert is a guy that comes in and potentially has the prowess to give this team a little bit of extra spark. And really, next season, we could see them do some special stuff because I don't want to see Notre Dame keep recycling these transfer quarterbacks in and out. I want to see them get a guy, him come in, start, grow with this team, and they can have 2-3 good years with a star quarterback. That's where I think this team will really start to grow and continually be a playoff contender.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. But let's talk about Hebert here for a second and talk about his low ranking and what his low ranking sits now. He goes to the Brunswick School in Greenwich, Connecticut. Now, look, I'm not from Connecticut. I know almost nothing about the Brunswick School, except for this very interesting trivia tidbit. They are a prep school that's notably putting out smart and talented people. For example, the Winklevoss twins of Facebook and now cryptocurrency fame. They're basically a feeder into the Ivy Leagues, right? This is an egghead preparatory school in Connecticut, right? This is where the smart and the rich send their kids to before they go on to the Ivy Leagues to go make billion-dollar businesses or something. The competition and just the level of high school football there is not going to be very good. Obviously, nothing against Connecticut, nothing against the Greenwich and the Brunswick school and all that. It's just the reality, right? It's not like Georgia. It's not like Ohio. It's not like Florida, Texas, California. It's just the reality. So what does that mean? When you have a quality prospect, it means early on in the recruiting cycle, they're going to be ranked really, really, really low because there's not a lot of big games. There's not a lot of notoriety for all these recruiting analysts to go out. But you look at schools, you look at Auburn, you look at Clemson, now Notre Dame, right? Very aggressively pursuing this kid, Notre Dame securing the commitment. I think the Fighting Irish have a steal on their hand. I think Hebert's a guy who's going to very rapidly rise up the recruiting ranks as people get more attention on him, as he starts going to the camps, he gets eyes on him. He's got the prototypical size. He's already 6'3", 205 pounds, great arm, pretty good athlete as well. I think as people see him in these different passing academies, he'll show off his arm talent, his intelligence, all those traits. And going back, and looking forward, people will say Notre Dame Fighting Irish got a huge steal. I love the fact that Coach Freeman and company are focusing after losing Knight, focusing on kind of the under the radar recruits, because I think those are where the real gems can be found. I know everyone's always looking for the next 5-star guy to turn around a program, but the reality is if you can spend, 2% of your time to get a great steal, that's worth it spending 50% of your time to maybe get a 5-star. Notre Dame already spent a lot of time trying to get the 5-star, the big name guy Knight. It didn't work out. Sunk cost fallacy. Don't keep chasing down the rabbit hole. Focus on a potential steal, and I think they got one here in Hebert. Great move by Freeman and company.